Thanks so much. Let's get the other side now with Democratic Congressman Luis Gutierrez. He is a Clinton supporter. Congressman, thanks so much for being here.
Good morning, Alisyn.
I want to get you to respond to something that Jason Miller just said, and he's not alone, that in these final 4 days of the election, that there seems to be more of a focus on the Clinton side on the negativity of Donald Trump and scaring voters into saying this is what a presidency would look like than a positive vision of what Hillary Clinton would lay out. What's your response?
Well, maybe that's what we heard today, but it wasn't. So if I look a little bloodshot in the eyes, it's because I arrived at 1 in the morning from Colorado, and the day before I was in Nevada. And out there, here's what people are talking about. They're talking about pay equity, making sure that women earn the same as a man. They're making sure that we have a just, fair immigration system, allows people to come out of the shadows, register with the government, not have to fear deportation. People are talking about raising the minimum wage.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. A member of Congress earns in a month what a minimum wage earner earns in a year. So people are talking about economic issues, issues of justice. Are people getting driven to the polls because Donald Trump used bigotry and hatred and discrimination? When Donald Trump started his campaign and he walked down that escalator, almost the first words out of his mouth, Alisyn, were Mexicans are murderers, rapists, and drug dealers. And yeah, there are a few good ones, but we got to get rid of them.
Yes, and
that is the way he started the campaign. So you should expect, Alisyn, for people to respond electorally, right? Because what do you do in an election?
Yes,
you reward your friends and you punish those that have been your enemies.
Well, I mean, look, I hear you that you're saying that voters are talking about the issues, but I'm talking about Hillary Clinton and her surrogates, you among them, on the campaign trail. I mean, let me just play for you what Hillary Clinton said yesterday, and it was about Donald Trump. Listen to this.
I want you just to imagine the different kinds of futures that are available depending upon who's elected. It's hard for me to imagine that we would have a president who has demeaned women, mocked the disabled, insulted African Americans and Latinos, pitted people against each other instead of bringing them together.
Okay, so this is her basically doomsday scenario. She's saying, imagine how horrible it would be instead of imagine, you know, the shining city on the hill of how positive it could be.
Sure, because let's face it, Alisyn, Donald Trump is a threat. He's a threat to our democracy. Look, I've been doing this a while, too. I have never heard a candidate demean women the way he has. Go out and simply say, Muslims, we're going to stop you from coming to this country. And we're going to round up 11 million people and we're going to deport you. So when someone says and use fear, the fear of Muslims and their religion, the fear of the Mexican rapist and murderer, the fear of the refugee coming to this country to blow us up, that has been his rhetoric. And that is why the Ku Klux Klan has decided, and other such extreme groups in America have decided to endorse him. So really, yes, elections are about the future. And I want a future in which, look, Alisyn, for me, it's very, very personal. My grandson, he's 13 years old. Luis, you know, his dad's from Mexico. His mom has Puerto Rican heritage. And you know what he told me the other day? He said, I feel real Mexican in this arm. I feel real Puerto Rican in this one, Grandpa. But right here, Grandpa, right here, I'm American. I'm going to protect that little boy's American heritage and his right to live in this country without people looking at him as a criminal, as a murderer, a rapist, and a drug dealer. He's a young American. He shouldn't be criminalized and defined in that manner by any candidate to the presidency of the United States.
So, Congressman, what I hear you saying is that you do think it's effective to focus more on the negative, more on Donald Trump's negatives that you think are frightening, than to talk about what you see as Hillary Clinton's positives in these final 4 days.
Here's what I'm telling you, Alisyn. Here's two groups of people I saw in Nevada, right? Not a poll. It's not something that I read. I saw them. And here's two consistent groups of people. Latinos, regardless of their age and gender and sexual orientation, were out there in droves. Especially I saw it in Nevada, really working. The culinary union workers, hundreds of them strong, getting everybody out to vote. And it's working. And in Colorado, I saw the same thing. But here's the other group, women. Women and women. I saw Latinos and I saw women, and I got to tell you, they are working hard day and night. They are building that coalition, and I think it's a coalition that's going to win. Look, I'm a Puerto Rican heritage, so I'm very connected to what's going on in Florida. And let me assure you that the tragedy, the economic downfall in Florida has caused not tens of thousands, but hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans to migrate to the state of Florida over the last 4 years. And here's what we found. What we found is Latinos voting early in Florida, 9% 4 years ago, 15% today. Very well could be a factor, this factor, that more Latinos will vote early than the totality of Latinos voted in 2012. So look, the campaign is responding. It's Alisyn. You cannot attack a community and criminalize and demonize with that community without expecting it to respond. Women respond to attacks against women. Gay people respond to attacks against them. We have to save this country from someone who is really a danger and a peril to our existence as a democracy. He said to Hillary Clinton during the debate, if when I win, I'm going to investigate you and I'm going to lock you up. That's from a third world, third-rate country. That's not the United States of America.
Congressman Gutierrez, thanks so much for sharing your feelings with us on New Day.